One of the most affordable electric cars in Europe that unfortunately we don't get here in Australia or America is the Renault Twingo. The Renault Twingo EV costs less than 20,000 euros. Actually I think it looks really good. And it wants to repeat the success of the original Twingo from the 1990s. I think it could. At these prices, looking this cute and being an electric car, it's going to be a huge success. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans, you're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Renault is targeting the affordable electric car segment in Europe with its new generation. This is the updated version Twingo that they say carries the spirit of the original version into the modern era. Prices will start below 20,000 euros. So that's very affordable. It could be around 22,000 US dollars. The design of this car was meant to be nostalgic, kind of a nod to the original, which I thought was quite ugly, to be honest. I'm not a fan of the ugly one. The ugly original one, I think it looked weird. But this new Twingo, I think it looks quite nice. It's sort of an odd-looking vehicle, but it works. The short bonnet makes sense, right? I mean, bonnets are a waste of space. If you're going to park in a city in Europe, right, you really want to have as small as car as you possibly can. Much passenger space as you can get in a small car, and reduce that space that's completely worthless. Now, these are speculative illustrations actually provided from Car Scoops. Unfortunately, we don't know if the real thing will actually look like this, but it could. Based on what we've heard, it's very likely to do so. Unfortunately, Renault hasn't shown us photos of the interior yet, but judging from other vehicles, it's likely to get so-called sustainable materials for the upholstery, but it's going to be pretty basic. I mean, it'll have air conditioning, but not a whole lot else. Who cares though? I mean, at this price, I think people aren't going to be too worried. It's very likely though that the Twingo will use lithium iron phosphate batteries to keep prices down, and there'll be smaller battery packs for a smaller size car. Now, Renault is actually promising one interesting thing. They're saying it's going to have best-in-class efficiency. The numbers they revealed are actually staggering. Much better efficiency than a Tesla Model 3 even, which is best at the moment in the world. They're saying the Twingo will only use 10 kilowatt hours of energy per 100 kilometers. So in theory, you'd only need a 30 kilowatt hour battery pack to get 300 kilometers of range. In theory, I don't know if this will be like this in the real world, but it could be, which would be amazing. It's also promising a 75% reduction in CO2 emissions over its life cycle compared to the average European internal combustion engine vehicle of 2023. Additionally, the Twingo's compact footprint will occupy 20% less space than the typical car found on European roads, while still having a lot of passenger space. Now you can see the concept for the Twingo from Renault, I think looks fantastic. There's the images of the Renault's prototype called the E-Tech, but this is actually the E-Tech Twingo. So this is potentially what the Renault Twingo could in fact really look like. I don't know about everyone else, but I reckon the color of the concept looks fantastic. There's not many cars with this color. In fact, it's a really rare looking color. They should make it like this when it actually comes to market. Apparently, it will be available at a price to lease of less than 100 euros per month. Even cheaper for people who live in France, where you actually get subsidized leases for people who make less money. So approximate lease price in France could be approximately 30 to 50 euros a month. Incredibly cheap. The Twingo, of course, is going to be a very important car for the company because in Europe, people love small cars. There's not a lot of good choices right now, especially when it comes to small electric cars that are affordable. This car could sell in the millions. I think it's going to be really popular. I love the design personally. Which one do you like more? The one from Car Scoops or the actual concept? I think the concept actually looks even better. I'm a big fan. Guys, what are your thoughts? Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.